There's been talks of facial conformity in Hollywood, that by imitating a narrow beauty standard, that everyone is kind of starting to look the same. Now, a writer for Allure is actually arguing that thanks to women like Helen Mirren, Claire Danes, and Jessie Buckley, we are starting to see real human faces on screen more often again. So, Carly, do you think we're seeing a sort of backlash to what they're referring to as the facial conformity era?
I hope so. I hope at least in terms of Hollywood, we at least get to see a diversity of the ways in which faces look. And you got to see that, I think, like, if I rewatch something from even 20 years ago, there are such different faces, you know? When I was rewatching The West Wing earlier this year, or last year, you would simply never see a hairline like that on TV today. A receding hairline, or in period pieces, people with big veneers in a period piece, things like that, where I think your job as an actor is to communicate the breadth of the human experience and look like a bunch of different people. I think that it's good to look like a different person, you know?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think there's a backlash against this face because we've seen a lot of, I'm not gonna name any names because I don't wanna hurt anybody's feelings, but I think we've seen a lot of very attractive public people who've done stuff to themselves and we're like, why did you do that? You looked great before, you didn't need that. Yeah. And then you see everybody else doing the same thing and it's like, why is everybody making their mouth so big, their nose so small, and filling up their face where it's like, you're contorting yourself to a way, it doesn't actually make you look younger or better, you just look different. But recently, I've just taken 2 trips out of the country and I realized this is very North American and specific places in North America. Yes. Because I went to other places, there are chipped teeth and wrinkles and wonky eyes and warts all over the place, and no one's fixing it. It's like, I think it's us and our algorithm is what we're telling each other how we're supposed to look, because it's not outside of these borders as much.
Yeah, no. I mean, listen, Europe, they're just in a different world, in a nice bubble that we'd like to maybe bring back here. I actually don't see a backlash. I don't know. And that's not because I like to put needles in my own face, okay? Just for the record. I actually think there is a major difference between you being an actor in Hollywood and it is your job to portray different people and
show
make
emotion.
It reality and show emotion. We remember when Nicole Kidman, it was the 2014 Cannes Film Festival. She showed up, she was doing Grace in Monaco, or it was when she played Princess Grace. People went for her. Now, you can't see her face moving, but when she started to move at this red carpet, people freaked out and they started to say, your face is frozen, what did you do? Because she's an actress. But guess who else occupies a lot of screen time that influences us maybe even more heavily than Nicole Kidman? It's reality stars. Yes. And there is not a backlash. Any housewife, they all look the same. Love Island, as soon as people get big on reality TV, that's where you see facial conformity. But those people are more accessible and relatable to me than Nicole Kidman. I gotta say, so I just think, you know.
I feel like we don't have enough time to, but I feel like that's an interesting statement. So why do you feel they're more related, like the reality stars on the Real Housewives, like, to me they're totally unrelatable.
I don't mean, I'm not a housewife, but the idea that they are a reality star, their job is to not have an emotive face. Their job is to quote unquote look a certain way, or Love Island. Those are everyday, regular people.
But I feel like if you watch, because I watch those shows, the first season those women are on, they all have their regular face. And then by the next season, I think they read all the comments about what's wrong with them, and then they come back, and you're like, "Who's that?"
I mean, even on, I'm obsessed with the Mormon Wives. That's my, it's not good.
So listen, I got housewives.
Yeah, exactly, and it's so sad. Those women are very young. Like they're very, very young, and they actually look a bit older after the first season, because they get a bunch of plastic surgery. And again, it doesn't make you look younger. It just makes you look different. It makes you look done. And it's sad. I mean, again, if it makes you feel better, then it's good. But I agree with you. I think it's in reaction to negative feedback.
Negative feedback, but I just want to say, during the pandemic, when everybody was on Zoom, there was a Botox boom because we were all looking at ourselves on screen for the first time.